it's like somebody actually, so I don't know if Travis is gonna join, but Travis is like, I really actually like having lunch and watching you guys talk. And I was like, that that's what we should do.
What did you do? Well, I had a call that ran a little long, and then I ran another thing after this. So I was like, but luckily I brought my lunch.
No, that's good. That's good.
So I'm having a delicious salad. Is it loud that I'm chewing? Nobody's here yet, so I don't feel bad yet.
I don't hear it.
Okay, good. So it's just loud in my head.
Okay.
Well, you know how like if you've got your like sometimes you've got like headphones on.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know if this sounds good or bad. I have this plugged in because every single time after this, like my phone's about to explode. It's like it's so hot. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't like them around. I don't like leaving your
I
packages
know
out.
you don't. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And this is how we know that we're real people.
Real people getting deliveries.
All right, so in today's episode, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Okay, we're talking about being in a rut or like stuck in a rut.
Mm.
What
Mm.
happens when and I think we talked about this like when we were doing that Art Basel panel,
Mm-hmm.
and we were saying that you do the same thing over and over again, and sometimes you just like don't think about it
Yeah.
because you do exactly what it is that you know, and you don't think about what else to do.
Mm-hmm. No,
So,
I see it everywhere. I
okay.
see it like for artists. I see it for art professionals. I see it for art collectors. It's so easy, and we don't realize that we're in a rut.
Yes.
It's so easy to just be despondent and like bored and like maybe like a little resentful and like kind of have these like bad feelings and not realize that it's because we're in a rut, that we
Yeah.
need to like expand and like see other things. We need new input. Uh,
Also, I think that like for example, you and I, we
mhm,
read very similar things. We do very similar things. And
mhm.
so when I see you post it or when I see you talk about what it is that you've been reading, and it's like, oh, I read that. And I think sometimes when you get this confirmation bias that you're like, oh, everyone around me is what we read the same thing, we do the same thing, we're good at the same shows, whatever. And then you're just like, oh, it's safe. So there's nothing else out there.
Yeah,
And I like really have to say that
there's
I
so
was
much out
speaking
there.
there's so much out there. Like, I was speaking to somebody, and literally she had a list of stuff. I have never heard of any of these things, and I was like, these are all things that are in New York," and she was like, "Yeah." And I was just like, "But I'm in New York, like, so often. I've never seen any of this. This not doesn't come up in any of my feeds, like, nothing." And I was just like, "Okay, like, just different."
It's just so many different. I was working on this article and then I kind of scrapped it because I sounded a little bit like a self-important asshole. But it was good. It was an interesting actually exercise in like the journey and like what you can do even with something that doesn't become like a full thing. But I wrote out everything that I'm reading all on like on a regular basis, and
Okay.
it's like my art forum, my Gagosian, my Freeze, my Gray Market, like all of the things that I'm reading. And it's a really long list of things that I read regularly. But then I was looking at the list and I was like, that's it? Like there's not like I'm not finding hello. I do see you, Zorro. Um, I'm not finding like new voices, like I'm not actively seeking out new voices. I'm not actively like finding like the weird stuff like I used to. Like I am really just sitting back and letting things come to me. And then like if there is an article that's going viral in like a different, thing that I normally read, I'll read that. But like I'm not subscribing to October anymore just because what's his face had a viral article. Like I read his Josh's article in October and then like that's it. You know what I mean? It's just like cool. Um, but like that is, and I do, I'm like, oh, I'm not like reading anything new. Well, Alexis, whose fault is that? Substack has been helpful for like that in just on the reading front. And then like in terms of like galleries, it's so crazy. And I see this too. And again, like this is as an artist at friends, as a professional, and I see like collectors when they're kind of bitching about not like nobody's doing anything new and nobody's doing, everything's too expensive. And it's like, where are you going? Are you going to the same 5 blue chip galleries and the same things like that. Like our friend Jeff Majid, who I adore, but he's always complaining that everything's too expensive. And I'm like, I see where you're going. Of course it's too expensive. Like I've got 8 galleries I can take you to right now, and everything's under 10 grand. Like it's just, this is a problem of your own making. But it's the same thing with me. It's like, oh, I'm just seeing the same stuff. And it's like, well, you're going to the same very convenient galleries downtown and you're not seeing new things. But then I look at these CVs for these artists who are applying, and there's like 10 names of galleries in LA that I've never even heard of. Not even like in passing, I've never even heard of. And I'm like, yeah, because new stuff is happening, but you have to find it out. You have to be hungry. You have to find it. What's this little cute purple thing, Zorro? Oh, that's cute.
There's sad faces.
Like, don't be sad. We see you. But it's so easy to get into this rut. And
No,
you
for
have
sure.
you have to actively push out of it. It's like, you know my theory about how everything's a gym. It's like going to the gym, and it's like you can just keep doing the same muscles and the
Oh, I
same
see.
whatever. But it takes effort to like learn a new move and then like do something harder and like do, or like to change to yoga or do, a Zumba class. Like you have to actively do it. It's not just going to necessarily come to you. Like maybe it will. Maybe your friend's going to invite you to a Zumba class. Maybe your friend's going to invite you to a different thing.
Maybe.
But you have to, like, if you want it on your own.
Well, I mean, you do have to actively
work.
like look for
And
it.
that's
It is work. It's actual work that you have to do this.
Mhm.
So like I was recording something on the weekend for Substack. And one of the things that it reminded me of like why I had started doing these like simulations with AI is because I wanted to go and get myself out of a rut. And I like recorded this entire tutorial on like having a simulated studio visit. Like, what does that look like if you're talking to a dealer and then you're talking to me and then you're talking to somebody who is an art critic? Like, what does that look like in real time and getting the different types of opinions that are just different, right? And I think sometimes like even talking to something that is simulated but is not, it just gives you a different lens that you don't necessarily think about. And there's only like so much time for me at least looking at social media. And I think like because you follow the same thing, it's the same algorithm, it's the same, right? And so all of a sudden you're just like, okay, so we're doing the same thing still. And it's partly because I'm following the same people that everybody else is following, right? Because like obviously there's a metric that we are working within. And so then I'm just like, okay, so what's new? And then because we're similar in age, because we're similar in the same things, we're looking, reading, watching to very similar things, other than maybe things that are outside of the art world that is might be probably very different. But like if it's inside the art world, it's like very, very similar stuff.
Very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's rut inducing. And I think that like this is also when like our kind of golden memories of like being younger and how exciting things were then. Well, it was exciting because everything was new. Now nothing's new unless you seek out new things. And it's hard.
But
But
I
it's so
don't
easy.
blame it on I just don't have enough time nor bandwidth. And
That's right.
I don't even wait for things. I just don't. And then I complain, it's like, oh wow, this is really boring. Like I'm going to the same galleries every single, it's the same route, it's the same. And then sometimes when I go and venture out, I'm a bit like, oh wait, like this is not within my comfort zone. And so I also don't like it. This is just old age. I think this is old
No,
age.
it's such a thing. It's the same thing. Like it's so easy now also. I think technology and the internet has made it so easy for us to be in our little echo chambers with our same art, same writers, same ideas, that we forget that it's actually good to go and be bristling against something and to read something that you don't like and to hear voices you don't like and or not don't like but don't agree with. And like then you have to think about like do the work. Like why don't I agree with them? What is it about their argument that's bad? What is it about this painting that's not interesting?
For sure.
And it's hard to do that because it's so easy just to dismiss it, but it's so It's so beautiful.
When
I
did
think
you move to LA?
2006, technically 2005.
Oh, okay, so I just moved to LA in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't discover anything at the very beginning when I moved.
You were in
Obviously,
Pasadena.
there's no time. You were just
Mm-hmm.
drowning. I think that I actually didn't see anything in LA until like well into 2006, 2007. And
2007 was a good year.
and I remember sort of people obviously very condescendingly said, "You don't go to galleries in the West Side."
Oh, because that was Bergamot Station days.
Yes, that was totally Bergamot Station days. But like, because I interned in at the
Did you have a
Grove.
car? It was hard in Pasadena at the time, I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was interning at anthropology at the Grove.
Mm.
And so I like this is like my like route. It was like I would start my internship at 7 in the morning because I did merchandising, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be there before the store opens to do merchandising, to do the windows and whatever. And so by the time I would leave, it would be about like midday, and then I would be in traffic, and then we'll have to get back to school and do my classes. So my classes would
Yeah.
be like from 2 to 7, and then the last class would be 7 to 10, right? Like that's like the typical schedule that you would have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so no, like I didn't see anything. I never did anything. I literally like went to work and went to my internships until people were just like, you do know that like in between that, like the Grove and Pasadena, there's like a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, there is. And I remember like a teacher who became a mentor of mine. She was like, "You're such a drive-by princess." Because you don't get out of the car, and I'm just like, well, yeah, I did grow up in Vancouver. Like I don't know, but like LA's so big. Like I don't
It's
know
so
what's
big, but it's also
there.
it's like, how are you supposed to find out? Like,
I think people just talked about it, and I
yeah,
just
I mean that's what I
wasn't
mean.
in
I
that.
mean, you would have had someone had to tell you, and then you'd have to print out a map quest so you could figure out how to get to someplace between your, there just
Which
wasn't
I
like it
didn't.
wasn't like you could look at your phone and see things. We had
Like, which I
maps.
didn't, by the way, because I was like, I was like pretty determined to get onto the 10, to get back onto the
Hmm.
210 or the 134 or whatever it is, to get into
Yeah.
Pasadena to make it into class on time. Like I was
Yeah.
pretty determined. So, like, but I just remember there was like these pockets that people were just like, there are things to see and you just drive by them. And I was just like, I didn't know that.
I hate those people.
Oh,
I hate those people so much.
okay, well.
Unless those people were giving you physical addresses of those places, then shut the fuck up. Like if they weren't giving you directions, like if they weren't being like, okay, from the Grove, you can get to La Cienega, and the La Cienega will take you to the 10, but if you go just a little bit further, there's a handful of galleries right there, and you can see it if you've got time. You're driving by things without seeing them. Yeah, I've got places to go, ma'am. You can't just like walk around Los Angeles. My God, there's like one good block for every 50 boring blocks. Like, how am I supposed to know which block is good?
I don't know. And then
You
and
can't.
then I stopped my internship at anthropology, and then I worked at Dior, so I was in Rodeo Drive.
It's
And
even
that
harder to get back
and
to.
that was even like more like it was so hard. Like it was so hard to be like get back into Pasadena without being stuck in traffic. And it was like
Yeah,
and so you're even more determined to get back into class on time because like nothing good comes out of it when you're late for class.
nope.
So I saw nothing. Until somebody was like, there's a store that's called I'm pretty sure this doesn't exist anymore, Maxfield's. Does Maxfield still exist?
It
Does it?
does.
Okay.
Owned by
Um,
Tommy Purse, James Purse's dad. Tommy's a big art collector.
I did not know that there was an entire thing there.
Oh yeah. Well, why would you know? That's not even Maxfield isn't even close to Beverly Hills. Well, it's like really on the edge.
It's like in
It's closer
between.
to West Hollywood.
Yeah.
But no, but like there's no way to know about those places unless you know. Or unless someone's telling you. But even for them to be like, yeah, it's off Santa Monica, and you're like, well, at that time, it's like, which one? Like you have to have a map. I hate people. I hate those are the gatekeepers people complain about. Don't you know that there's other stuff? Tell me. Give me addresses. Give me names. Give me directions. But so proud of myself for feeding myself so quickly. But it's hard to like find like new things to see. And it's hard to be like, I think the easiest way for me to get out of a rut is to watch a movie or a show or read a book that I normally wouldn't be like read. Like my escapism lens very escapey. Like I like Marvel movies and I like, airport books because my life is art. And so like I have a lot of I need my escapism to be very escapey. And so like for me to do something like read a serious book or like watch a serious like art film is the thing that gets me out of my rut because I'm like, oh my God, look at all these things that I'm thinking about in a way that I haven't thought about in a long time. It's amazing. But the oh my God, I'm so excited about these.
What'd you buy?
That's what I bought.
Wow, that's big. That's huge.
Yep. It is a big ass bandana.
Wow. Okay.
I
Is
don't know
that
what
the
I'm gonna do
look?
with it.
Is that the look now?
I don't know what the look's gonna be. But I was just thinking, I want a bandana, but I don't want a regular one. So I got some big ones. I'm excited about it. But they're literally called big ass bandanas.
How many did you get?
I just got two.
Oh, okay.
I just got two. And they're like $10. Made in India. But speaking of rut, I'm trying to get out of a fashion rut. Hello, Korean humans. Oh, Korean. Do I look Korean? That's exciting. But yeah, but I saw I Love Boosters this weekend. That was a great movie. That got me out of a rut.
I have not seen a film in a long time. I also have this other problem that like if I have a film on, I walk out. Like I walk in and out. I don't pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't been to a cinema in like a lot, like so long that I cannot even tell you how long it's been.
You should go see I Love Boosters.
And what
It's
is
an
I love it?
incredible film visually, executionally, like the way that they like did it. There's like stop motion animation in it. Like there's just I can't even like it's so good. It's so unexpected.
I'm gonna look this up.
It's very I think it's interesting and or worth your time.
I love boosters.
I Love Boosters. It's got Kiki Palmer in it. She's great.
I love boosters. Oh, that looks fun.
It's really fun, but it's also really serious. It's great. It's like
Oh,
one of those like where it's like one of those movies where they put in a good message about like the actual state of the world in the future, but through like comedy and fun and like insane visuals and like concepts.
cool.
Almost feels like something we would have had like in the 90s, but it's great.
Well, I like what has come up when I look this up on Google is just like it's colors. It's a lot of
It's colors.
colors,
So
which
many colors.
yeah, which I don't see very often anymore.
No, it feels really good on the eyeballs to actually see that many colors.
Oh, is this the one with Demi? Oh,
Yes,
I
Demi Moore's in
just
it.
saw this like clips of it on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting two and two together now. That was slow of me.
Yeah.
Cool. I do think that like different types of references can be very inspiring. Like I used to really like watching very fantasy based films like Finding Neverland. That was probably one of like when I needed to make stuff and I needed to be inspired and I like the way that they were doing like some of the cinematography. Like I really like that. Peter Pan, like I also really like that. There's a theme going on here.
Yeah.
But I really like, those like very kind of fantastical films.
I think you'll like this then. I
Yeah.
think you'd like it. From a fabrication standpoint, honestly, like some of the sets that they build, some of the yeah, I don't want to give away too much,
Okay. Cool.
but I think that you would.
Then I will go see this.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else that you do for getting out of a rut?
I really just force something new. You know, I used to have I don't have as much time anymore, but like what I really used to do is when I had more time and I wasn't and you know, a very demanding job and husband and child that unfortunately take up so much of my time. I'm just kidding, I love you. But the it's is I used to force myself to go to do things that I think might look good on the gram. Like that was the easiest way to get me
Oh,
to try
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like I really like would fake it till I made it. Like now, it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go to this show because I think it's gonna look cool on TikTok. Like it's just like an excuse to go somewhere to give me myself content, or I'm gonna go to this hike, or I'm gonna go do this, It really
But
would.
then that got really tiring really soon. Like when I see people do that, I'm just like, wow, that's
Well,
commitment.
I only need like a couple times before I'm like back inspired and then I'm back into my old rut again. But like it can one one or two things can really feed me for a really long time. Like going to that panel for Diva Corp at Art
Oh,
Center,
yeah.
like that fed me for a while. And I haven't, I don't normally go to panels because most of the time they're very boring. Um, and that one made me very mad, but like still it felt good to be mad. You know what I mean? Like it felt good to be like riled up about something. Because it just got the juices flowing.
Also, it's hard to get to art center. Like art center's so far.
I know, but there's panels that laugh about. There's panels that don't at the bro. There's panels there's talks everywhere. There's always, there's dance classes and ceramics classes and paper lantern making classes. Like there's all this like stuff that we could be doing. We're just not doing it because we're not looking for it. But even like in terms of the passive things that come into my emails about events and openings and all of this kind of stuff, like I don't even have to go far to look for something new. I just don't even read the emails anymore because so much of it is just like slop gross and I get bored. But there's so many things that are happening that you just don't even have to like look far to do. Like Boca last weekend before last, not Memorial Day, they had like a huge like plant sale at Mocha with like people were selling like all these artists had like all of these great plants and different like little ceramics for your pots and like all of these different things. Yeah. It was this huge thing. I couldn't go because I had an opening that night and I was like working at the gallery, but like how cool. And that wouldn't have been far out of my way. Like it's just like right there. But I just wasn't paying attention because I don't read my Mocha emails. And that's on me.
Fair enough.
But that would have been fun.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What do you do to get out of a rut?
No, I
You
honestly,
don't. You
my
stay in the rut.
like nothing. Also, I think partly, and I think I use this as an excuse and a crutch that Vancouver has much less to offer culturally than say like in LA but like the problem is that even when I go to LA or even when I go to New York, I do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Um and it's been only I got back into this rut in New York like pretty quickly. So and I then make a lot of excuses, which is like, "Oh, I don't wanna go Midtown because Midtown has a lot of tourists, and I don't wanna go there." Then I'll say, "But I don't wanna go uptown, I don't wanna go up to the Upper East Side 'cause it's really far." And then I have to walk. So, really, all that I do every time is I go to Chelsea just
Mhm.
because Pace is there, and I, like, have to laser focus to go and get to Pace and see the things around there.
Yeah.
And then I come back down to the Lower East Side, Tribeca, Soho, and I do the same thing every single time. I think this is a
Yeah.
me problem that I, like, have now defaulted and I don't do the research that I really actually should be doing before I go to New York. And I'm just like, "Oh, it's always the same thing." And then I make the same type of content and I say, "Y New York always shows the same things. It's always showing paintings." And I was anticipating something different, or, like, and it's just like, I'm pretty sure it's like a me problem. Like, I'm pretty sure, which makes me think that maybe I should just come to LA, because then I'm not doing the same thing. And then you feel like you should go and figure out to go and show me something else.
Well, no, it's especially when you've got like it is. I actually, what I did is because I'm going to London next week. I have a friend of
Oh, they
mine.
have so many good shows on.
There are a lot of good shows. Apparently, it's like 95 degrees today.
Yeah. They have a heat wave.
Luckily, next week it's going to be normal. But I have a friend who, because she's better at this stuff than me, and I was like, will you just like find like a couple like thrift stores like for like vintage places for me to go to that aren't Portobello Road,
I
because I don't
I
want
could
to
have
find.
told you that.
Please give me some things. But then this is where it is. This is where community and networking work is so important, because it's like, okay, I'm going to London. I have the 12 things that I will do. I've got the galleries that I'll hit, because I'll be in Mayfair and I'll be in Holborn, and I'll just, I'll hit those galleries in between there, and I'll go to the Tate because I can walk there on my first day when I'm like totally delirious.
Tate or
Uh,
Tate Modern?
Modern. Sometimes I go to Tate, but the
Tate's
shows aren't.
difficult to get to.
It's a little difficult to get to, and like the shows aren't changing enough for me to like make it a priority. And the British Museum's like walking distance from
Oh,
my hotel, so like I'll pop in there if it's a good show. And the although the ticket situation now is a whole other thing. But anyway, so I'm making my friends now find me some things. So that could be the thing. Next time you go to New York, I'll find you some things.
oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can go see new stuff, and then you'll have to do it, even though it'll be a different trip or a walk or whatever than you weren't planning on, because I told you to. So I think that's another thing. You rely on your friends. Get you out of your rut. Talk to your friends.
Totally. This is a good idea.
It's a really
I
good
can
idea.
find you places in London but you're gonna have to get on the tube and go to like Dalston and Hackney.
I can get on the tube. I can get on the tube because I'm gonna have like a full day on my own before I go. I give myself an extra day.
Oh,
Um,
I think Lisbon has a whole bunch of openings. Do you want to go up to Edgware Road and go up to Lisbon Grove?
I don't remember.
I just saw on Instagram that there's a cluster of them that are opening on by Lisbon.
Let's look. Yeah, I'll go. I'll go. Listen. Where is?
Lisbon is
Give
on
me
Lisbon
a
Grove.
map. Listen. Gallery.
Also not the easiest place to get to. It's like Marble Arch, and then you go like all the way up from Edgware Road ish. Ish.
Hold on. This is so boring for anybody watching, but I'm orienting myself. Yeah, I mean it's far, but like I can get on the what's it called to get
You can get
there.
on the bus. The bus is
Yeah.
easier to get on a bus to go to Lisbon. But
Um
yeah, just a thought.
Edgware Road Station.
Yeah. It's on the Bakerloo line. So
I know, just yeah, Bakerloo. Yeah, I can get there. I can get there. Because I can go. Yeah, that'd be fun. I am gonna go see a show. I'm buying a ticket ahead of time. I'm gonna go see Oh Mary. And then so I'm trying to get out of a rut. I need to get out of an LA rut. But what's interesting though? So this is it. This is actually really good. Like Alexis, like what are you doing to get out of a rut? My Substack has got me out of a rut. My Substack's got me out of my like it's been a forced exercise in writing, and it's been really good for like coming up with ideas, like working out that like idea of like what would people like. It's making me observe things in a real way again, because I'm trying to like come up with stuff that's not just like me like talking. It's gotten me writing again. Ask me how many fucking words in my book I've written this month.
didn't you tell me you've like written half of it?
I'm at 45,000. I started on the 1st and I didn't write for a week. It's a problem. I
Still a
might be in the
problem.
middle. I might be in the middle of a manic episode. We don't know. But But it's been nice because it's coming easier. More, you know, I mean, the same way, like, you know, anytime you're doing anything, more and more and more, it becomes easier and easier and easier to do more and more of it. So like now to bust out 1,500 words a day, I can do it. Like, and it's great. And
So
that's all
you've
because
got a
it's
Substack. You write about art. I just got your email on that.
oh, my email today.
Yeah. Fix the gallery part 2. You've got a
Fixing
Substack.
galleries.
I should actually see who you read on Substack. I have a Substack. My Substack is specifically about AI and figuring out how to go and think with AI. So slightly different. But the both of us are writing about things.
Yeah, no, you should. I mean, I follow some good people on Substack. My problem, what I would love for, I found out this about a friend's wife. She does this with Substack, and I want to do it a little bit. Is she prints everything out at the end of the week, all of her Substacks, and she reads them like a fucking like magazine newspaper. Because that's my problem with not following more. I would follow more, but I hate having more emails in my email, and then when I get into the app, I don't read. But I need to start.
Oh, I
You
see.
know what I mean? Like I need to have if I could read them physically, and I might start doing that. I might just start like printing out when I get them. Because I think I would read more. But I like love this idea on like Sunday of just like reading through my week's Substacks. Except for like the couple that like I always read Tim's when they come up, you know, like there's a couple that I always read. And there's some people that I follow just because they're friends. But there's other people who that I think that it could be. I think it could be a good way to read more stuff.
So rely on your friends, read more stuff.
Read more stuff. I mean, I think that's really, it's always the thing is it's your if your input's not different, then your output's not going to be any different. Period.
Fair.
You cannot get to a different output without different input. And it's the same thing. Like you cannot fix a rut by doing the same stuff, watching the same shows, reading the same books, listening to the same podcasts. Sometimes the podcast, if it's like you're talking to different people, sometimes it can be like interesting and new, but most of the time it's the same kind of, you know, stuff. And like that's the whole thing. And I say this to artists too a lot because they're like, oh, I'm stuck. And I'm like, yeah, it's like you need to get out. You've got to get out. You've got to go see some stuff. You have to see, and like a place that you don't normally go. Like if I was really stuck, I'd be heading up to the Getty. I'd be going down to like Long Beach. I'd be going to places that I don't get to, but like when like people are in town, like maybe like the Norton Simon, you know, places that I don't get, like be a tourist in your own town.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. But I think that it's hard. It's hard, but the part of being in a rut is it's hard to get the motivation to do anything.
Yeah.
So
for sure. Yeah, for sure. No.
Did you read my Substack today? It was really bitchy.
I don't pay for your Substack.
Oh,
I'm also
I'll give you a
trying
thing.
to I'm also trying to go and figure out how it's possible for me to actually change my Substack to a different email for the things that I have applied that I have paid for. So it's like one Substack rather than 2 different Substacks with the same person. So I need to like look at that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is no, I'll give you a comp.
Well, thanks. I do see the things that you write, and it's like the previews, and
You see me
it's
getting on a
always
roll.
it's always this. Like when I see it, this is the face that I make.
Uh-oh, Alexis is on a roll. Here she comes. You know. But I can't help it. All right, where's Erika?
I'm here.
but the compy comp. I mostly keep it paid for because I don't need people like strangers
Oh, I see. Okay.
reading this. Like I don't want it public out there that I'm talking about bad about Marianne Goodman.
Mm.
You know? Like I don't care if like the 7 people that subscribe and like a handful of my friends who have comped can hear, or like I'll talk about it here to like the 2 people who are like watching. But I'm not like trying to have it like Alexis like officially on the record saying I'm not surprised that Marianne Goodman closed in LA because they haven't emailed me since 2023. But I'll say it in my Substack.
But we also talked about that last time. Like the
I know.
changing art scene and what it looks like to actually keep.
Well, there's so much, it's interesting, and I feel like this is going to be like really big for. I was actually talking. My friend did read my Substack this morning, and her takeaway is that it was bitchy, and my takeaway from that was that that's true, but then also like the art world is filled with like MFAs, and it needs more like people who worked at like Nordstrom for commission. It needs more like waitresses and like waiters who like know how to talk to people and like to like get a sale. And it needs more business people to deal with like business development. Like there's been a shift in how people are able to get collectors, and the people who are not able to shift or understand that like you're a store and you're responsible for people to come in, and like you're responsible for developing clientele and not the other way around. Because now there's just such a fundamental shift in like what people are able to have access to, because even just 20 years ago, even in like when we first moved here, you couldn't buy art easily from a gallery in New York because you wouldn't be able to get the preview. They'd have to mail you something because
I
the
think people
quality.
still actually really believe in that, that like I think a lot of people still think it's very difficult to get on mailing list or and any of this information.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think they do, but like the people like it's not hard for a collector now to be a collector at a gallery in LA, a gallery in New York, a gallery in Mexico City, a gallery in Tokyo. Like it's not hard. Like if you're not going to sell it to me, I'll just go to the different gallery. Like before, if you wanted a Richard Serra, you were buying it from, well, maybe that's not him because I think he's only represented by Gagosian. But like if you wanted like Pay White and you were in LA,
Yeah.
you'd only be able to go through 1301 PE.
Mm.
But now, if they didn't get back to you, which they would because their director is fabulous and I love them, they're a friend. But if they weren't going to get back to you, then you could easily talk to any one of her other galleries. And they'll sell you a Pay White.
Mm.
And galleries don't understand that because they're like, oh, I'm gonna still hold the line. But what they don't understand is that another gallery is not going to hold that same line, and they're going to give you access.
Mm.
And so then they're not developing
The same
and
types
people
of relation.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. And I think it's like the upkeep is really difficult because things have changed so drastically and people aren't thinking about that.
They aren't, and they're doing the same kind of stuff, and they're approaching everything the same way. And then here it is back. They're all in a fucking rut. They're doing the same thing, expecting different. And they're like, well, I showed up here, but I was talking to a friend who had a gallery, and she had a good booth, and it did well. And I guess the booth next to it did not do well.
Okay.
And they actually got to the point where they were asking people to get out of their booth because they were taking pictures of her work in the next booth. And I was like, well, see, this is where the gallery is instead of saying, get out of my gallery, you're not like, oh my God, yes, that's great. Can I also show you this while you're here? You engage with the people who are in your booth. It doesn't matter what they're doing. They could be tying their shoes, talk to them.
Mm.
But you're so firm on being like, no, this is my space and my thing. And if you're not here for me, get out of here. And then you don't sell anything and you're surprised. You're literally kicking people out of your booth. I don't care what they're doing. Yeah, they want a good angle of the next booth, whatever. Offer to take a picture for them. Start up a conversation. This is an art buyer in your booth.
Yeah, I don't think people think that way.
I know, that's what I'm saying. This is why we need waiters and fucking Nordstrom employees in galleries, because these people don't think like that. They don't know how to get a fucking. Their collectors are literally in their booth and they are kicking them out.
Yeah, I don't think people think that whatsoever.
That's what I'm saying. It's a fucking problem.
And on that note,
And that's a gallery problem. And then they're going to complain and say it's an us problem. It's not an us problem.
well, I think that's
We're there.
well,
The
that's why
visitors are
like
there.
we are the way that we are right now in the system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But that's not our. But then they complain that it's the buyers, and it's like, no, the buyers were there. You're literally kicking them out. You're literally kicking them out of your booth because they're not doing exactly what you want to. According to what? Something that you made up in your head of how you thought that this booth would go. How do you know that they're not going to hit your booth next? How do you not know that this is like part of their loop? You just kick them out? What the fuck? That's
fair.
what I mean. These galleries are in a fucking rut, and they're not engaging with like what's actually even happening to them. That's the other crazy thing, is that these things are actually happening to them actively, and they still don't change. And they still blame everybody else. Like, nobody will look in the mirror. And then they read the news and they're like, well, see, look, nobody's buying anywhere. And it's like, no, people are buying all over the place. And you know where they're buying? At the galleries who aren't complaining. There's plenty of galleries that are expanding right now. I can name 10 for every fucking.
There are. Yeah.
And you're not looking at that because you're in this place of fear that you're, it's fucking crazy. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. That's why I wrote another thing about it. And I'll probably write another one.
Okay. All
Sorry.
right. Nope. All good. All right. I'm gonna go.
Okay. This was great.
Always.
Bye.
Till next time. Bye.
Bye.